You know, life is a funny thing. Most people are working harder on their jobs than they are on themselves, and then they wonder why 5 years go by and not much has changed. Now, if you're here now, I don't think you're most people. I think you're ready for something different. And if I can keep your attention for the next few minutes, I promise you, you'll hear ideas that can change not just your income, but your entire future. So here's the challenge. Stay with me till the very end, because the decisions you make after this could shape the next 5 years of your life. Hey, if you're into real down-to-earth money talks and mindset shifts that actually teach you something, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now, let's continue. Point 1. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you want to be wealthy and happy for the rest of your life, learn this lesson well. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Your job makes you a living, but working on yourself, that makes you a fortune. And if all you ever get out of life is a living, that's fine. But wouldn't you like a little more than fine? See, income doesn't usually exceed personal development. Sure, once in a while it takes a lucky jump. You win the lottery, somebody hands you $1 million, but unless you grow into the kind of person who can handle that money, it'll shrink right back to where you are. So here's the truth. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. If you chase it, it runs. But if you become attractive in discipline, skills and habits, success shows up. So the big question is, who are you becoming? Take a pause and think about this. Point 2. Find out how things work. Now, if you really want to change your life, you need ideas. When I was young, I told my mentor Earl Shoaff, "Mr. Shoaff, I don't have any money." And he said, "That's not a problem." I thought, what do you mean that's not a problem? I always thought not having money was the big problem. But he said, no, the real problem is lack of an idea, because with the right idea, you can always attract the money. That hit me like a ton of bricks. The real problem isn't poverty, it's ignorance. Because if you know what to do, you can always change your circumstances. So how do you find out how things work? 3 ways. 1. Read. Every successful person I've met, whether in America, Europe, or anywhere else, was a reader. One book might save you 5 years. Isn't that worth 30 minutes a day? Did you know there are books on leadership, wealth, communication, discipline, and even personality development? And yet most people never open them. Isn't that strange? We complain about the results but ignore the instructions. So here's my advice. 30 minutes a day, read something positive, instructional, challenging, or inspirational. You don't need all night, just 30 minutes. And if you say, "Jim, I don't have time," check your Netflix account. 2. Listen. Get around successful people and listen. In fact, here's one of my best pieces of advice. Poor people should take rich people out to dinner. But here's the problem. Poor people usually say, "He's rich, let him buy his own dinner." And that's why they stay poor. How? If you spend $80 on dinner, but walk away with one idea that doubles your income, was that a good investment? Of course. 3. Observe. Success leaves clues. If someone is making $10,000 a month, pay attention. Watch how he talks, how she walks, how they treat people. Now, don't get carried away. Don't copy the way he ties his shoes. But notice how they carry themselves, how they handle challenges, how they discipline their days. Because there are 2 ways to see. One is sight with your eyes, the other is insight with your mind. Insight is where the answers live. Point 3. Discipline yourself. Once you know how things work, you've got to go to work. Knowledge without action makes you foolish. Knowledge with action makes you wealthy. Type this in the comments section below, and I'll give you a big heart. Knowledge without action makes you foolish. Knowledge with action makes you wealthy. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and discipline always starts small. If you can't handle the small things, life will never trust you with the big things. So ask yourself, what could I start doing tomorrow that might change everything? Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's saving the first 10% of your paycheck. Maybe it's finally finishing that book. Don't wait for someone else to motivate you. Self-motivation is the only kind that lasts. Because if you depend on someone else to fire you up, what if they don't show up? What will you do? If you're getting value from this message and you want me to continue, like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I drop messages like this every day to build your mindset and finances. Thank you. Let's continue. Point 4. Don't try to cheat the system. One last caution. Don't try to beat the system. Some people learn just enough to cut corners, to look for shortcuts, to cheat the process. And you know what they end up with? A cheap life. Don't do it wrong. Do it right. Even if it takes longer, do it right. Because the time you lose trying to cheat is far greater than the time you think you're saving. Now ask yourself, will what I'm doing make me live a cheap life? Am I cutting corners just to get a quick result? Point 5. The choice is yours. If I could sit down with you one-on-one tonight, here's what I'd say. This year, reach deep inside yourself and bring out more of your remarkable human gifts. They're there, waiting. And here's the best news. You never have to be the same after this message. Never. But here's the question. What will you start tomorrow that will make a difference 5 years from now? Because the next 5 years will pretty much look like the last 5, unless you change something. So the choice is yours. Change a little, change a lot, or don't change at all. But remember, any day you wish, you can totally change your life. And that's the real secret. When you change, everything else changes. Now, before we wrap up, let me leave you with a little challenge. Because it's one thing to listen and another to act. So here's my challenge. For the next 30 days, I want you to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Every day, spend at least 30 minutes reading something that feeds your mind. Write down one idea a day in your journal, just one. And then ask yourself, how can I use this idea to change my life? And here's part 2. This week, invite someone successful out for coffee or dinner. Sit across the table, ask questions, and just listen. If you're bold enough to do that, I promise you, you'll walk away with something money can't buy. And part 3, pick one small discipline, just one, and do it consistently for the next 30 days. Maybe it's waking up earlier, saving 10% of your income, or exercising. It doesn't matter what. What matters is the discipline. Now, if you'll accept that challenge, I can almost guarantee the next 30 days won't look like the last 30. And if you keep going, the next 5 years won't look like the last 5. If this video brought you value or stirred something in you, give it a like, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Videos like this take weeks of research, writing and care to create. Don't just watch and go away. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to hear what stuck with you the most. Remember, success isn't something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. You can't change the wind, and you can't change the seasons, but you can change yourself. And when you change, everything changes. The big question is, what are you going to do starting tomorrow? That's where the future begins. I'll see you in the next one.